All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Sunday, June 12th edition of the MMAOB Daily Podcast. I'm your host, as always, Adam Martin from this hotel room in Halifax, from Big Marcel. How's it going, man?
All good, man. How about you?
Doing good, Marcel. I mean, it's been a crazy week for me, guys. Like, the amount of driving we've done, the amount of things we've seen the last week, it's been pretty amazing. Great part of the country out here. Last night was a really epic night for me too, man. I mean, it was a long fucking night, guys. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it's an hour difference here. So right now it's actually 10 a.m. So the guy who runs MMA Decisions, we've been friends for a while, Chris there. He messaged me the other day, Marcel, and he's like, "Do you want to come watch with me?" Because I was in town. I was like, "Yeah." So I watched with him, man. It was pretty awesome. We watched the whole card together, and I got to see like the process behind MMA Decisions. Really cool. We kept seeing your scorecards and stuff. He's got it all automated. It's like he's a programmer, so he's got all the code and stuff. It was really cool. But it was awesome watching the fights with them because there's a lot of close decisions, and we were sitting there bitching about decisions together. So it was fantastic. But no, I'm doing good, guys. I barely slept. I think I slept like 4 hours, maybe 3. I didn't barely slept. I mean, this whole trip I've been just grinding my ass, like, driving and stuff and watching the baby and stuff. But it's been great, man. No complaints at all. I've had an amazing trip. Marcel, how's it going with you, man?
Yeah, man, all good. Also, haven't slept a lot today, only 4 hours, I think. Yeah, all good, man. Not much to say, actually. It was a great card, I think.
Right.
Well, probably, I think it was better than London. Maybe people in Europe don't agree, but I think it was better.
It's the best card of the year. I mean, I think it's one of the best cards of all time. I don't think it's even like a hyperbole to say that. And people were saying this card was not going to be good for some reason. I don't really get it. I thought the card looked okay. I mean, it wasn't like the best looking card on paper. It turned out to be one of the best of all time. All right, so anyways, we're going to recap this card. We're probably going to do like 30-something minutes. I mean, I have to check out in an hour and a half, guys. So I don't have a shitload of time here. That's why I was trying to get you to come on, Marcel. So we'll do this, and then we'll do UFC Austin preview. And we're not going to do a podcast tomorrow or Tuesday again because I'm off this whole week. But I mean, even on my vacation, I still want to do this. Marcel, like, I don't have to do this podcast, but I want to do it. I like talking to you. I like having the guys in the chat. So let's get into it. Let's start with the main event. Marcel, UFC 275. Jiri Prochazka submits Glover Teixeira in the 5th round. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you kidding me? Like, no one. And the people that are like saying they bet on this, come on, why would you even bet on that? Like, no one would have ever expected that to happen. Just an amazing fight. Let's talk about the fight, Marcel. I was at Jones and Gustafsson 1, and that fight was, to me, like the best fight ever, but I feel like this might have overtaken it. This fight had everything. This fight had everything in it, guys. Like, back and forth war for 5 rounds. It was a little more back and forth in that fight, I think, Marcel. Like, there were so many times in this fight where you thought either guy could knock out or submit the other guy. In the end, Jiri submits Glover with 28 seconds left. I mean, my mind's blown right now. I was getting ready to write the tweet saying, got the bet right. Because, man, I had Glover Teixeira, Marcel. He was up 3-1, Marcel. He was about to win 4-1 probably. Ends up getting subbed. First time he's ever been submitted. Third time Jiri's got a submission win. I think it's like his first in like 10 years almost. My mind's blown. It was just such an amazing fight. I want to get your thoughts on the fight, Marcel, because for me, like, this might be the best fight of all time. It's possible, man.
The funny thing is, normally when a main card is that good, the main event sucks, But the main event was even more crazier. I think Jiri very coming forward, trying to knock out Glover, but Glover very high fire IQ, going for takedowns, mixing it up. Did great, I think I had it either 3-1 or 2-2. I think it was more 3-1 than 2-2 in my opinion, but it was close, It was difficult. I think the judges were very happy actually that the fight went to a finish instead of a decision. Although the 5th round was in Glover's advantage, until Jiri came out of it under him, and he took him. He was on him, and I was like, "Damn, dude, he's gonna finish with strikes in the last minute." But he takes the choke, and he chokes him out. It's like a super great and at the same time bittersweet moment because you pretty much know that Glover probably not going to win a title again. Maybe that's early say, if you see how he fought in this one. But I don't see an immediate rematch going on, and Glover is already 43 now, so it's difficult. On the other side, I love to see it for Jiri, dude is an absolute professional. I love how he carried himself, and both guys carried themselves in the lead up to this fight. Super respectful. I think Glover lost, but there were no losers for me in this fight. You know what I mean? Great fight between two great mixed martial artists, and the youngest guy won. Prochazka won, and looking forward what's next for him. And I think, beautiful fight. Can't say enough about it.
I don't know, same here, man. Like I'm just still like I didn't want to go to bed last night. Like I sat there with Chris after the fight. We were talking about it. We're talking about the scorecards. We're talking about everything. It was just an amazing fight. Like I'm still reeling from Marcel. Like it really was that good. I came back to the hotel room and Anita was sleeping, and I woke her up in the morning after. I didn't want to wake her up at 3:30 in the morning, but in the morning I'm like, babe, Jiri submitted Glover in the 5th round. She's like, what? Jiri submitted Glover? I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, Valentina should have lost, but she won. She's like, what? So much happened. We'll talk about that fight in a second, but fucking incredible fight, guys. I mean, epic fight. This is why you love the sport. When you see fights like this, Marcel, it reminds me, again, why I fucking love the sport. It's the best sport in the world. It's so unpredictable. Now, I did pick Glover, guys. I don't feel so bad about the pick, though, Marcel, because honestly, he was about to win. 28 seconds away from winning the fight, you know? So it is what it is. It's not I don't think it was a bad bet in hindsight. I mean, you know, Jiri would have been a better bet because he won, but I still think the odds were off. You know, I think it was more of a pick 'em type fight, Marcel, rather than a 2-1 advantage for Jiri. So go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, the funny thing is that I picked Jiri first round knockout, but the thing is, I said as well, like as further the fight goes, it favors Teixeira, is what I said last time, you know. And now Jiri wins in the 5th round. So I actually had a bad read on the fight, but I had to pick right. And I think you had a better read on the fight, but you have to pick wrong. So it's really
weird. I think I had a really good read on the fight. I mean, like listen, he lost. I know, I get it, right? But I said he would be the better grappler, and he was for that 90% of the fight. Marcel, if you told me that Glover would land 5 takedowns and he's the one who gets submitted, I would have said you're fucking insane. That's what happened, though. Because, again, it's MMA, man. It's not just grappling. It's not just boxing. It's MMA. It's a crazy sport. There's so many nuances to it. Let's just get some comments here, guys. Rex Lee, good morning, guys. I can get used to the Sunday podcast. You're going to do predictions. We are after this. Again, I don't have a ton of time because I have to check out at 12, but we're going to do this. We're probably half an hour, 40 minutes, and then we'll do the Austin podcast. Get some other comments. Hey, what's up, Marcus? Would you book Jiri versus Yan or Glover versus Jiri 2? Jiri versus Glover 2. Sorry, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I would rather, honestly, Marcel, I want to see the rematch. I want to see the rematch. I don't see why we wouldn't do the rematch. I mean, the fight was it was close. It was the best fight ever. Here's the thing. Back in the day when UFC did Gustafsson Jones, they fucked up and they didn't do the immediate rematch. Instead, they gave Glover the title shot, ironically, against Jones. That fight sucked. And then 5 years later, we saw the rematch, and the fight was completely different because Gustafsson at that point was pretty, shop worn. Mm-hmm. I say do the rematch, man. Why is Jan more deserving after winning by broken or a knee injury? There's no way. Give it to Glover. I want to see the rematch, Marcel. I know he called for it, too. He went on Twitter and said, I want the rematch. What do you think, man? I mean, you're saying you don't think it's going to happen, but I want to see it.
Listen, man, I wouldn't have any problem with it, obviously. You know, I either think there are 3 options. You know, you can give it to Glover, which I am cool with. Jan, I want to see Jan against Rakic again, actually. But Rakic is out for some time, so I don't know. And then you got Ankalaev Smith, you know. And I think if Ankalaev wins in good fashion, he has a shot as well to get for the fight for the title. But give it to Glover, man. I think nobody has a problem to give the second fight here to Glover, you know. But and also, like I said, Glover isn't getting any younger, you know. So
he's 42, Marcel. I just trapped you. You added an extra year on the poor guy. And I guess if he fought, he'd be 43 next time he fights because it's in October, his birthday.
You know, Adam. You can't say like, no, let's not do a rematch. We do it in 2 years or something because that doesn't make sense for Glover. You know, if you want to do a rematch, do it now. So yeah.
We got this call from Glenn. It's a good comment. Crazy advice for Jiri. Some really bad MMA media. I mean, there's a lot of people that are really shit in the MMA media, so I'm not surprised by this. Suggesting Glover should retire. They both. I mean, are you kidding me? Like, I still think listen, he lost, but he's the second best guy in the world. I think he's better than Jan. Obviously, he's better than Rakic. He's better than all these guys. Ankalaev is good too. Maybe Ankalaev beats him. I don't know. Like, they're all different matchups, but listen, most people thought Yuri's going to go there and destroy this guy in the first round. That did not happen here, Marcel. He took him to the break. He was about to lose until he got the submission. Go ahead.
I was going to say, 1 minute before the end of the fight, Glover breaks these guys for some reason. He know how to break these guys, and then Prochazka got the tap, you know, and I didn't tweet it out. So yeah.
I'm just surprised by the tap, though. I got to be honest. So, like, listen, like, I'm not saying there's any shame with tapping, but I thought he would go to sleep instead, Marcel. I'm a little with 28 seconds left. I didn't even see the tap. I'll be honest with you. Like, I guess it was on the other side of his body or something from the camera. I don't know what to say, Marcel. I'm like, there was no hooks in it. It was a nasty choke, no doubt. It was like a bulldog type of choke instead. It wasn't like a traditional rear naked. I'm a little surprised he tapped Marcel. First submission loss of his career, Marcel. Like, this is not something that was supposed to happen. You know what I mean? If you told me before the fight someone was going to win my 5th round submission, I would have told you Glover Teixeira, and I would have put tons of money on that. There's no way in hell I would have ever thought Jiri was going to win by sub, Marcel. There's no way. I know you agree with that. So, man, amazing fight. I'd like to see the rematch, like I said, guys. Hey, Steve, what's up? Glover deserves a rematch. Honestly, Jan should live QVB Smith. I mean, Jan, here's the thing. The internet's not amazing here. You there, Marcel?
Yeah, you're kind of roboting to me, so I have no idea what you said, man.
Sorry, guys. Am I back now? It's not the best internet here, guys. I apologize.
No problem.
You hear me at all?
Yeah, now I hear you
Marcel?
clear. Yeah.
Okay, sorry, guys. This is why I want to do faster today because of the internet issue. I'm not at home, right? Next, say what's up, man. Do the rematch. I agree. That's the thing. Glover doesn't have a lot of time left. I think most people here like the rematch idea too, Marcel. Glover had Jiri out cold. Oh yeah, here. Good comment, Marcel or Marcus. What the fuck was he thinking, Marcel? He rocked him. I thought the fight was over. I'm like, holy shit, Glover's gonna knock him out, and then he gets up. Like, it's weird. It was a weird fight because Glover was better with the striking, arguably, and Jiri was better with the submissions. Like, what the hell, Marcel? What the hell happened?
I actually forgot that. Yeah, he had him rocked and he could finish him, and then he pulled guard to get for the guillotine. You know, he took the guillotine and he went down, right? Or whatever happened. Really weird sequence, you know. And I was like, "What are you doing, dude?" It's like, but yeah, sometimes these fighters, they're in the moment and they're thinking this is the best idea to do. Do you remember like Miocic against Overeem? Overeem had to knock down and then he went for the submission and then he got knocked out later.
It was dumb. The Glover's usually a smart fighter. That was a bad. Fight me, costing the belt potentially. You there? I got you, Marcel.
Yo, now I hear you again. Yeah.
Shit. Yeah, I apologize, guys. Again, it's not the best internet here. There's not much I can do, though, unfortunately. All right, you ready to talk about the next fight, Marcel?
Yeah, for sure.
And yeah, I know I'm freezing, guys. I'm sorry. Like, I don't have. There's nothing I could do. Let's talk about Valentina, Marcel, and Santos. And again, Marcel, this is why I want to go through the podcast faster today because I knew this was going to happen. I thought Santos won, guys, personally. I thought she won the first 3 rounds. I don't have an issue with Valentina winning 48-47, but I hate the 49-46 scorecard. I don't like it at all. It was close, but I thought she won the first 3 rounds. So I'm not surprised the judges. That was my thoughts. Give me your thoughts on the fight.
Man, I mean, there's some of these fucking dinosaurs who scored at 49-46 for Shevchenko. It's like, what the hell, those people who think they know everything about scoring, on Twitter. But yeah, I think I had 3 rounds for Santos as well. Can't see Valentina getting the second round, by the way, so I can't see Valentina 2-4-5. I had Santos 1-2-3, Valentina 4 and 5. I had no problem with the decision going to Shevchenko. I think it was 50-50. I mean, overall, I think the clash of heads had a very big impact in this fight. I think Santos didn't do very well anymore in the 4th and 5th round. I think it has to do with the swollen eye, under her eye. And that's why I want to see a rematch. Not even because it was close, but because of that. Because I felt like Santos was much better without having her eye almost shut than with her eye shut. So I want to see the rematch. I think Shevchenko, her most difficult title defense so far. I don't want to say she got lucky because she went through it and she did very well in the 4th and 5th round. 50-50 fight to me. I don't have any problems with Valentina winning, but I had Santos as well. But yeah. Overall, good fight. I just switched my internet to
my phone, by the way, so hopefully it's a little better. I'm using my hotspot here. Hopefully it's a little better. Yeah, sorry, guys. I mean, there's nothing I can do, literally. I'm not at home. I don't hate giving Valentina the second round. Like, I figured it was close and they could give it to her. The judge that gave Valentina the first and second round and fourth, like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, how could you watch that fight and say Santos didn't win the first 3 rounds, like a 29-20 decision kind of thing? You know what I mean, Marcel? Like, and that judge would have thought she lost the fight. It doesn't matter. It doesn't make sense to me. I don't mind if you give it to the second round to Valentina. I think it's fine because, again, she had that some damage off of her back. I think she had the Gogo Plata attempt at one point, Go-No Plata, according to this week. So I don't hate it. I'm just saying, honestly, guys, I did think Santos won the fight, but it was super close. A lot closer than I expected, Marcel. I figured it'd be competitive. That's why I picked Valentina by decision, Marcel, but I feel like she did get exposed a little bit with the grappling, Marcel. Like, I feel like her wrestling got exposed a little bit. She won the fight. I get it. I want to see the rematch too. I think you got to do the rematch for this fight too, Marcel. You want to see the rematch?
Oh yeah, for sure, man. This is the only girl so far that really gave Valentina a good fight, a competitive fight. And dude, I hate it when people say like you got to beat the champ to be the champ. If you win 3 rounds of the 5, you should get the title, whatever you do or whatever you are. But like I say, I can see people giving a 3 to Shevchenko. 4 is a stretch, and I don't see it.
I don't agree with that at all. It's ridiculous. And I watched the fight with MMA decisions. Like, he knows his decisions. And it was hilarious though, seeing his traffic spike on his website, guys. Like, he's showing me his trap. Marcel was just like boom, boom, like in this fight, and also the Coolbell fight, which we'll talk about in a second as well. But yeah, I mean, it was a close fight, guys. That second round was a swing round. Like Glenn said, hey, Glenn, what's up? He said, it was pivotal. She didn't do enough top. Probably not. I mean, one judge did give it to her, though, guys. Remember that. It wasn't unanimous. It was a split decision, Marcel. So, yeah, I mean, it was a close fight. I want to see it again. Valentina's fight IQ was exposed. Dude, why did she keep initiating takedowns, though, when she was losing the takedowns exchanges? I don't get it.
I think she was very surprised that she finally found someone who was physically as strong or maybe sometimes stronger than her. I think she didn't expect that, And you saw her struggling with that definitely in the first 3 rounds, And after that, pretty much after the clash of heads and Santos had that swollen eye socket, that was the moment for Valentina. She went stronger, and she clearly won round 4 or round 5. And that's also the thing why I want to see the rematch, because before that happened, I think Santos was the better one, before that happened. So that's why I also want to see the rematch. And overall, man, it's a moral victory, I think, for Santos going to a split decision with Valentina. Arguably won the fight, not officially, but arguably won the fight, So, I want to see the rematch. And I think Shevchenko wouldn't mind the rematch either, I think she knows that she just got by in this fight. And I think she wanted to show the people that she can win more decisively. So, and I said before, I want to see Shevchenko fight the winner of Nunes against Pena. I'm kind of changed right now. I want to see the rematch with Santos first.
I think it's an intriguing fight. I really do. Valentina did say she was injured or something. I didn't watch the thing, but I saw the headline. So maybe that's why she didn't kick. I mean, listen, it was just an off night fight, but at the end of the day, Marcel, she got the win. So got the job done. All right, let's go to the next fight here. Weili Zhang defeats Joanna and Jedrzejczyk, spinning back fist, Marcel. Amazing. I mean, I think she looked incredible in this fight. She dominated the fight. First round, dominated with the grappling. Second round gets the knockout. Joanna retires after the fight. I mean, Joanna had an amazing career. I can't believe it's over, honestly. Like, it happened. Sometimes it happens so fast, these girls and guys' careers, Marcel. Because I remember when she made her debut, and I remember when she fought in Cage Warriors when she beat Rosie Sexton. And I'm like, holy shit, she's going to be really good in the UFC one day. Ends up winning the belt, had some amazing fights. She'll be in the Hall of Fame one day, 100%. Joanna is a legend for the women's MMA. But Zhang, Marcel, she is the best fighter in this weight class right now, in my opinion. I think she beats Carla. I don't think the fight's going to be that competitive. I think she just destroys her, to be honest with you, Marcel. I mean, Carla's a good wrestler, but I think at this point we've seen that this girl has good wrestling too, and her striking is obviously way better, Marcel. So I don't know what you think, Marcel. I know I just talked about a bunch of stuff, but give me your thoughts on this fight, and then because she's going to fight Carla next. Do you think she wins that fight, Zhang? I think she wins easily, honestly.
Should be, but let's first break down the fight. Zaskar Weilidov is how I called her in the first round.
Yep.
Dude, her wrestling was good.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Joanna expected that at all. And I think it was really, she was working with Cejudo, right? So I was impressed with that. Second round was more like we expected, a lot on the feet, that spinning back fist knockout. Amazing knockout.
Yeah.
She should win, of course, against Carla, I think, because she has more tools to win. The thing is, I think for Carla, and how crazy it sounds, Carla would have had a better chance against Joanna, because Joanna is kind of one-dimensional as Carla. She's also only striking, and Carla has a lot of wrestling only, so that would be one-dimensional against one-dimensional. And the first fight, people got to know, Joanna wasn't the big star she became when that first fight was. I think Carla was a favorite in that fight going in, and people expected her to wrestle a lot in that fight, and Joanna just destroyed her in that fight. So that would have been a better fight for Carla. Weili is kind of complete fighter. You saw that. She has a very good chance. But let's talk also about Joanna, dude. She retires after the fight. Man, what a great career. She set the standard in the strawweight division. For years. And in my opinion, she lost twice to Rose, twice to Zhang, but she still is the most successful champ in the division, title-wise with defenses. You know what I mean? She set the standard, and she was such a dominant champion for a long time until she fought Rose. Still made it competitive with a lot of other girls. She made it competitive with Zhang the first time, the second time with Rose. I think Rose won that fight clearly as well, but it was competitive. And overall, just a great athlete, and I mean, she will definitely be in the UFC Hall of Fame. It's a no-brainer.
Her overall record 10-5 in the UFC, but I mean, the 5 losses came at the end of her career. At one point, she had beaten everyone in a row, Marcel, just destroying everyone. I think the time off really hurt her, Marcel, honestly. She didn't look like she looked like rusty in this fight a little bit, But again, I don't think it would even matter. Zhang's just better at this point. And I agree with Juan. What's up, Juan? Weili was sorry, he said this one, Cejudo Coach of the Year. Henry Cejudo's doing a great job at Fight Ready. He's doing a great job down there, Marcel, and he's a great coach with the wrestling. And I mean, Jiri was there too, right, for a while at his camp too. So, I mean, I think he's definitely helping these guys and girls with their grappling. Hawaii's reporting status of broken oral bone due to the clash of heads. I'm surprised, Marcel, that I think it was Jason Herzog, right? I'm surprised they didn't bring the doctor in for that. And I thought, honestly, that it was like it was a damaging blow. Like, there was damage inflicted from that head, accidental clash of heads. And the doctors, I mean, even when they looked at her eye, they just looked at her and they're like, okay, you're good. Like, these doctors didn't do fucking anything, Marcel.
I was actually happy with that. I know it's
of course you are, because you want to see the fight continue, but
I know it's for the safety of the fighter. I agree with you.
But the crazy thing is, if the fight was stopped due to the clash heads, because it was in the 4th round at that point, it would have went to the scorecards. And I think Santos would have. Would she have won a split decision? I think so, right? So I believe it's because, again, the 4th round, 10 seconds or whatever into it, I mean, or it was short, right? That, it's 10-10 round at that point. I was talking to MMA Decisions about that. He was telling me, like, the only time they're supposed to use 10-10 these days, Marcel, is when there's nothing happens and then there's like an accident. Like, remember Espino and Romanov? But that should have been 10-10, right? So something like that. Anyways, you good with this one? Let's move on.
Yeah, for sure, man.
All right, let's get going here. Man, I mean, listen, a lot of people had Jake Matthews beating Andre Fialho. I didn't really see it, Marcel, and then he ends up destroying him and looking amazing. So this is one of the worst reads I had in the car. I had some good reads, Marcel, and some bad ones. This was not a good read at all by me. This fight wasn't really close at all. Jake Matthews looked amazing. I'm shocked, Marcel. I mean, he hadn't fought in like over a year. The fight was booked on short notice. He comes in here, looked evolved with the striking, just smashed Andre Fialho. I mean, Fialho, obviously, he's a bit chinny. He's been knocked out 3 times now. I get it, but like, I'm still surprised because he's been on such a roll, Marcel, that he gets smashed like this. Matthews gets a bonus. Well, all the fighters, by the way, they got finishes, got a bonus, which is great to see. They should fucking do that every card. Why not? Like, every time they get a finish, they should get a bonus, especially on the pay-per-view cards. I didn't see either, Steve. I didn't see it. I mean, a lot of people saw this coming. I didn't see it coming. A lot of smart people did see this coming, though. I got to be honest. Like, I saw it, and the line flipped, Marcel. Matthews closes the favorite. So the line flipped at the end. Give me your thoughts on this one, because I didn't see it playing out like this, Marcel. I got to be honest with you.
Yeah, so my colleagues at Eurosport asked me if I was crazy for picking Matthews. I was pretty convinced. Yeah, but I didn't want the way I thought it would go. I thought Matthews would use his wrestling on the ground and pretty much trying to outgrind Fialho or stop him with ground and pound. But dude, he wasn't faced at all by some punches from Fialho. Fialho also came through in the first round, but Matthews just came through, and he had Fialho on wobbly legs at a certain moment. Second round he finished a beautiful flurry, put him out. The thing is, man, I think a lot of people, and I understand, were really high on Fialho because he is a 4-fight in this year. Looked really good against Baez and against Van Camp. Actually, also didn't look bad against Pereira, but it was super short notice, and people were really banking on the hype. And I understand it because he has knockout power. If he touches you 9 or 10 times, you're gone. But man, Matthews, what a performance! I think probably one of his best performances in the UFC so far. And I saw a lot of people counting him out indeed, and I didn't expect him to knock out Fialho in this way at all, but a great win for Matthews, and I hope he fights more often because he's still young and he is talented,
Yeah, no, he looked good, man. I mean, he looked great. Like I think most people thought he would win, probably thought he would maybe wrestle him Marcel. I'm surprised that he knocked him out like this. And it wasn't close. He did look like Izzy. He looked amazing. I don't know what the hell happened there, but he looked so improved. So good to see, like you said, Marcel. It's still young, right? He's only 27, so a very young guy. And then opening up the card, our boy Jack Della Maddalena, Marcel knocks out Ramazan Emeev. I love Jack Della Maddalena. I mean, the guy's so exciting. I think he's ready for a guy in the top 15, Marcel, right now. Because I think knocking out Emeev is such a big win for him. I did predict this fight actually correct as well. I had him by knockout. So this was another one of the better reads I had. I mean, a lot of people picked him here. Obviously, the line really went strongly in his favor for a reason. First of all, I think Emeev will get cut after this. I think they were waiting for him to lose to cut him, Marcel. So I think he's gone just because he's a boring fighter, right? Although, to be fair, Marcel, that anaconda choke was very tight. I thought the fight could have been.
Yeah.
How the hell did he get out of that? That's insane. So pretty amazing he got out of that, Della Maddalena, but he gets the knockout here, Marcel, with a body shot. I think he's ready for top 15, but if there's no one in top 15 that's available, if Ponzinibbio is available, I think that's a great fight. That's the fight I would like to see. I was thinking Ponzinibbio in him because he's just outside the top 15. And this guy's saying Nico Price hype. That's a good fight too. I mean, there's a lot of good fights for him, but any thoughts, Marcel, on what could be next for this guy?
Oh, man. What a performance, dude, by Della Maddalena, Yeah, and I think Emeev is gone, and probably because of he has always had those visa issues, and he's not a really entertaining fighter.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, who can you put Della Maddalena against? That's a very good question, actually. Pretty much anybody between top 10, top 15, I think. Like we said last week, do the special. We saw already, and I think many people saw who watched the Contender Series in that fight against Ange Lusa, that this dude has something extra, and it shows that the UFC wanted him to make his debut against Warley Alves because that's a difficult fight, and then he got Pete Rodriguez because Alves was injured, and now he defeats Ramazan Emeev and finishes him. Actually, nobody had finished Emeev in the UFC so far, so. Yeah, what can you say? Great win for him, And Australia was on a streak, dude. Three wins back to back, on this card. So yeah,
I really like this guy. D-Rod would be good, but I feel like D-Rod also deserves top 15.
D-Rod is booked, but I don't know against who.
Okay, Maddalena versus Chiesa. That would be a good fight too. I mean, he could probably win that fight, if he stops the grappling, which it looks like he can. Anyways, let's get to the next fight first. So we'll go through these kind of faster, but. Josh Kulibao defeats Sung Woo Choi. First off, I said last week, I'm like, the line is too high in this guy's Choi. Like, minus 250. That was too high. He's not a great fighter, Marcel, honestly. Like, his UFC record's 3-4, guys. Like, he's not great. He's beatable. He got pretty much teed off on the stand-up here, Marcel. Got dropped a couple times. The guy got up. He's a warrior. He's swinging in the air, but he got destroyed here, Marcel. The judge who gave the fight to Choi is on fucking crack. That's insane. Are you fucking how? Marcel, how? Tell me how.
I was like, when Bruce was reading, like, we're going to the judges' scorecards for a decision, and then he read the judge's name. I was like, dude, this is seriously split decision. This can't be through, Kulibao, 29-28, and even 30-27 was a possibility,
I agree.
But how the hell you can score 2 rounds for Choi? It's crazy to me. It was a fun fight. I think Kulibao Koulibaly really showed himself in this one. I kind of underrated him always, probably, but I think he showed that he can hang here, and great win for him. A really, really great win. That should have been unanimous, dude. Split looks actually ugly on this one because he should have got a unanimous.
Yeah, it looks. I mean, it's just not fair. It's a clear unanimous decision. So he's 2-1-1 now in the UFC. I think he'll get another contract. I think they might cut Troy Marcel. It's possible. Like maybe they'll give him one more if they go back to Korea or something.
Yeah.
But I don't know, Marcel. He's not that great, honestly. He's always overpriced in the betting odds too. Like he's always a big favorite in the last couple of fights he's lost. So yeah, Daniel, I was shocked too. Hometown decision. I mean, they're both. Well, I guess he's closer. I mean, they're not from Singapore though. Like,
who was the judge who gave it to Choi?
I think it was that Anthony Demetrio guy.
Oh yeah, that's Saldamato in disguise.
Yeah, the guy who Saldamato in disguise. I saw your tweet. Was hilarious. He had some really shit scorecards last night. We'll talk about those in a second. The judging was bad. Like, I mean, it wasn't horrible. Like, I think they got the winner right, obviously, but that scorecard's horrible.
The problem is if we literally talk every week about a bad scorecard from the judges, and this needs to change, man. I feel like it's getting worse. Like 1 year ago, 1.5 years ago, when we also did the podcast, we talked about it once in a while, but it's now almost every week, so it's getting worse.
I agree. All right, next fight. This was one of the best picks we both had, Marcel. We both had the underdog here. Mahashate gets the knockout over Steve Garcia. Again, I was completely shocked this guy was the underdog. Steve Garcia is not a great fighter. He's too small for this division. Gets this face planting, Marcel. That was insane. I think Mahashate is legit. He's one of the few guys that from the Contender Series, Marcel, the Chinese fighters they brought in from the PI, that is legit. I think he's very good, Marcel. I'm excited to see how his career goes. He's 22 years old. He's super young. By the way, I was surprised his record all of a sudden went to 8-1 from 6-1. I don't know if you saw that they added 2 wins to his resume. So don't know where those wins came from. They found some tape, I guess. The same tape that Askar Mazarov sent in. I think they had a fight on this one for a win for this guy. But Marcel, he's legit. I really like this guy. He's got great striking. Give me your thoughts.
Yeah, we both said it last week that we like the guy. I always do at Eurosport in my previews. We only broadcast the main card, and I always pick a prelim, a guy who I think will do well. And this was my shot at this time. Man, what a great performance, with Steve Garcia aggressive, went forward, and a beautiful counter right shot for my shot. They put him out flat faced on the floor, on the canvas, I should say. Yeah, what can you say, dude? That is as good of a debut you can make in the UFC, I think. So I was happy the UFC give performance bonuses to everybody who had a finish, because my shot definitely deserved a performance bonus.
Yeah, I was worried he wasn't going to get one because he obviously deserved it. And, you never know, right, with how many they're going to give out. But I think a guy like him, he could really put that $50K to use. He can get better training. He can become a better fighter. And again, Marcel, very young. So I really like him. Next fight here, Brendan Allen defeats Jacob Malkoun. I got to be honest, Marcel, I thought Malkoun edged it out. It was super close. Any thoughts on this one? I don't know. Who did you think?
Dude, that Malkoun, I'd rather watch paint dry, dude.
There's no
my
God. He grinded it out.
I agree with you. The thing is, how can such... Listen, I don't want to shit on the fight, but how can such a boredom be the teammate of Robert Whittaker, Yeah. But this probably explains why Robert Whittaker's takedown defense is this good, I mean, Malkoun, I feel like he probably won the first 2 rounds. Third round, I think it was very smart corner advice by Henry Hoof to Brendan Allen. You're behind on the scorecards, go get him, third round. And Allen went for it and won the third round. Got lucky, he got 2 judges to give him one of the 2 rounds, So he won, or all 3 judges actually, also unanimous. Yeah. So unanimous to give him the first round. So yeah, he won. I feel like I understand it because I think the judges were swayed with that hip toss, and then Allen winning in the side control with Malkoun. Listen, dude, I don't really mind. He won because Malkoun is a complete boredom, but I think Malkoun should have won 29-28.
You think they cut this guy? He's 2-2 now.
Well, no, I don't think so. I think he's Robert Whittaker's teammate, So I don't think that will happen. And also taking in consideration that this one was super close and could have gone his way. I don't know who they give him next, But man, the dude, he's just Listen, he's like the Australian John Fitch. I don't know, dude, but
Yeah, I know. I agree. Malkoon's strong as an ox. Maximov and Malkoon. That makes sense. Two guys are kind of boring. It makes sense. You guys see Allen's a future contender. I really like Brendan Allen. I think he's 26. He's young, but
I
no,
like him.
I don't think so much at this
It's
point.
difficult, you know.
He's 24 fights into his career, guys. Like, he's not changing as a fighter. He's getting better a little bit, but not really, Marcel. You know, like, he's not like super young or anything like that. So, all right, a couple more fights here, guys. Quickly get through these, and then we'll start the next podcast. Kyung Kang defeats Dana Bakary, Marcel, decision. He gassed out again, Marcel, after that first round. Every time this guy gasses out, his gas tank's bad. I'm a little surprised by this one too, because I thought Kang was a little shop warmer or so, but he looked pretty good in this fight. He gets the decision here. Quick thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I mean, I think the first round went to Dana, you know, and he had that illegal shot where the ref was like, "Come on, fight on, fight on." So second and third round, very good jab by Kyung Kang, beat him pretty much up. Smart fight, high fight IQ in the second and third round by Kang, and a good win. I think a deserved win for Kyung Kang.
Yeah, I agree with that. Got this conflict going. I agree with this one too. Ref was awful. He shit his pants with the illegal knee happened. Fighter stop tells him to keep it up as if it's a low blow. That was a joke. Really, the fight should have been stopped at that point, and a point should have been taken away. You know, Marcel, because it was clear as day illegal, right? Like I'm like, how are they not stopping this right now? Very, very weird. Bizarre. By the way, this is funny. He's saying Brendan Allen's not going to be more than a gatekeeper, but Arnold Allen's a future champ. That's funny. They're cousins, apparently. No, I'm kidding. They're not. All right, a couple more fights quickly, and we'll get out of here, Marcel, for start the next podcast. So Silvana Gomez Juarez, Marcel, gets the knockout over Liang Na. You know, she's got power, obviously, but man, what a knockout. I mean, I'm glad she got a bonus too. She deserved it. Fate just destroyed this girl, Marcel. Folded her like a lawn chair. Wow. I was impressed for sure. Liang Na, maybe she gets cut after this. Marcel, 2 straight knockout losses now in the UFC. I don't know if she's really UFC caliber, guys, unfortunately, but Gomez Juarez, I think she saved her job, because I think if she lost, Marcel, she would have been cut. I really do think so. Yeah, so what do you think of this knockout? Great knockout,
Yeah, she had 2 armbar losses in her first fight, you know. So, but she knocked down Demopoulos, remember? And then she got an armbar. And now, I mean, she knocked down, or she staggered Na Liang, and then she knocked her down, and was over. You know, the referee came in between. I think a great performance by Silvana Gomez Juarez, you know, and a very, like Masvidal would say, super necessary win. You know, because like you said, she would have probably been cut with 0-3. And yeah, I was really happy for her, you know. She did really well. Na Liang, man, I don't know. You know, maybe if they go back to Asia again, they put her on the card again, you know. You know what they did with Wu Yanan, right? Kinda. But yeah, I don't know what they're going to do with him. But a good win for Silvana Gomez Juarez, dude. I was impressed with the knockout. Great power.
Look good. And then finally, Jocelyn Edwards defeats Romo Pascual. I mean, listen, it's funny. I watch with MMA decisions, right? So first fight of the night is a close decision, Marcel. We're sitting there wondering. We had 3 guys watching. His buddy was there too. He said Edwards was going to win 29-28. Me and Chris thought Pascual 29-28. Mm-hmm. I thought she won the first game. I'm looking at the numbers, Marcel. It looks like Edwards should have won the fight according to the numbers, you know. But again, watching that fight, like, yes, Edwards was controlling that whole first round until the last minute, but she got so much damage done by Pascual in the first round that I think she slowed back. And then the second round was close. I think the second round was a swing round. I'm okay with 29-20 either way. Honestly, it's fine. 30-27 is a fucking joke.
Again, Dimitri.
The guy's an idiot. Marcel, how do you get 30-27 here? Tell me how she won the first round.
I don't know. So, yeah, I also had a 29-28 Pascual, and people got really upset on my Twitter about it that I went that way. I was like, listen, guys, 29-28 either way is defensible. You know what I mean? So it's not like it's a bad scorecard or anything. 30-27 is much worse. Yeah, I mean, it's not a fight that we will look back on in a year as like, oh, man, we got to watch this one again. But, yeah, I mean, I didn't mind either way. It was 29-28 either way, and Edwards got it. I'm cool with that. I had Pascual 29-28, but I have no problem with Edwards getting the nod.
Yeah, I'm with you too. All right, let's end this podcast, Marcel. Just plug your stuff quickly so the people that watch this podcast on YouTube later on can hear that, and we'll start the next one. Go ahead.
Okay, really quick. Big Marcel 24, Twitter, Instagram, and you can find my articles on MMA on Eurosport.nl mixed martial arts section.
Yeah, you guys can follow me on Twitter at MMAOB Podcast. Of course, MMAOddsbreaker.com. To our YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, all those places. MyBookies.com, MyMMAnews.com. Again, no podcast Monday and Tuesday this week. We'll be back next week, Monday, for the recap of UFC Austin. But we're going to preview UFC Austin right now, Marcel. So I'm going to start another podcast, guys, that you guys can join us for there. We'll do another 30 to 40 minutes for there before I check out of this hotel, Marcel. I don't have a ton of time left, but let's do this preview. Okay, guys, I'll stop this podcast and start a new one up. Okay, peace.